Okay, good morning, good evening. What time is it? This is a video I'm posting on YouTube. Talk about children's aid and how they bury mothers and paperwork. Okay, when mother gets her kid taken away, I don't know about the police, of course. As soon as they're taken away, they will be buried in paperwork. You mean one paperwork after another, totally buried in, so they can't frickin' do it. And they keep doing more paper on top of it. So what they do is they keep filing on more and more paper. Find a paper thick of this here, thick like this, and they pile on a few more. And they keep telling mom, well, you have to get this document. You gotta get this one. I'm sorry, you gotta get this one. Oh, yeah. And the court date is on a Friday. Okay, show up on a Friday. Oh, we had your court date on Wednesday, so you weren't here. We gotta do more paperwork. Well, Mr. Court, how gonna do? You told me Friday. No. And I seen people arguing courthouse about that too, trust me. But then the mom, then a parent of the kid get real frustrated to a point where then they could phone aid office in the state of Missouri. That's where they're located. What they do, when you call that number up, it goes down to Missouri, to zone aid in Missouri, and they use the laws of that state to circumvent our laws up here. And that's how they do. By doing that, it's simple. Use American law to circumvent our law. With American law, totally different. And they can hold the whole kid to do that, using force of law to do so. Now, what happens in that case when a force of law is used? A good example, when Al Capone tried to make Chicago his own, he used the police force of Chicago and forces of law just to get away. Well, he ended up causing a major riot in Chicago. Now, because he used the force of law. Certain age, it's actually for law to say, this is our way to it, you can't have a kid. They do that to make sure you don't get it back. They keep that from you. And eventually the parent gets so frustrated that they're going to do this. And they're going to get mad. And they demand the kid back. And I seen cases where they walked into a children's aid office here in Hamilton, stood behind the counter, and demanded the kid back. They said, I refuse to leave it. Okay, they call the cops. And they literally just go and cop, and they throw back again. Cops are called, and they keep doing it over and over. The police keep them. Now, finally, the police lock them up in jail, shut them up. Then they harass the so neighbor, collect phone call from detention centers. A friend of mine ended up in jail. He kept calling me collect from a detention center. I'm up my phone bill pretty high, you think about it. Anyway, so, what happened then? Well, they bury you in a lot more. They bury you up to the ears of paperwork. I keep piling on you, You're getting frustrated. By that time, you got a lawyer. The lawyer going through all this. A lawyer realized, this. By that time, you fighting at that point. By that time, a lawyer finds a real court date. Then they show up on a court. And I find out court is going to be on Monday. And so they show up on a Monday, and they say, well, it's going to be on a Wednesday. So we show up Monday when the real date. So the judge looks at you. So they look, whoa. Sit. Have to give a kid back. And they realize then they give a kid back because the parent shows up in the courtroom. They try to and so then the parent get kid back, and so they watch them for a year. Then finally they find out, and then shortly, then they discharge it. Then the parent get discharged from children's aid with a nice little gift back at that, of course, and that. Basically, what it is they don't want, when children's aid takes a kid, they want to keep that kid in because they get paid $10,000, about $10 million a month from the government just to keep that young lad in children's aid. The longer they keep him, the more money they make. The less they keep him, the less money they're going to make. So, that's what they do. Now, so, that's all crooked children's aid is in the city of Hamilton. You have to literally have a lawyer to beat through the system. Because they'll give you the false dates. They'll give you a false court date. So you know why? We will show up a false date, not the real ones. So why don't give you one? They can keep that kid in longer. Boom. They know if you showed up for real date, they'll lose. See? They're gonna keep kid longer. That's the only way. Now, actually, when they do use forces of law like that, that's a good example. Is in the United States. Al Capone used force of law to make Chicago his own. As a result, it caused a riot, Chicago riot, and at the time it was night Chicago died, and what happened after that, shortly after Al Capone was arrested and tried for tax invasion, he went to Alcatraz. But unfortunately, it was pretty bad, when I think about it. Now, it was pretty bad thing. Not call you the force of the law, make your town your own. You just can't do that. It don't work. Gangster done that for years. It does not work, period. So, okay, blog over.